That kind of got on my nerves a little bit just because of the fact like she was more than just talking to somebody off the show behind the scenes. So that kind of irritated me a little bit.
I've said it to everybody, but I am so obsessed with the show. It's so amazing. Why did you feel like this was the right choice for you and April going into this show? Actually, I know that you actually didn't think that it was the right choice.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But why did you end up agreeing to do this?
Honestly, it took me to the last minute, like the night before we were supposed to leave to agree to do it. But she really wanted to do it. She wanted the fame, or what so-called fame. So I honestly can't even answer that question straight because I still to this day don't know why I did that. But
yeah. Do you think that she wanted to just go on for the fame and not for the relationship? Or do you think it was a little bit of both?
Honestly, I think it was a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. I think it was more for the fame. She's done the following. She's had the following. She loves that stuff. She loves the social media. I like to keep my life private. That's a big reason why I didn't want to do it. But yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. More so fame, just because I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I did have an engagement planned out for her before we were going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had an engagement planned out, had everything done. Obviously, I wasn't going to tell her. It was because it was supposed to be a surprise. No, it's not right to have an engagement be known, but yeah.
Wow. So did you ever try to kind of talk her out of it and be like, I'm planning those steps and maybe we shouldn't do this? Or she was just,
we've had many of those conversations. Yeah. She was like, I want kids, house, marriage as of yesterday. So I tried to do all that for her and tried to give her everything she wanted. But that's why I think a little bit of fame was to do with the show, but I can't answer that 100% accurate because I don't really talk to her that much anymore.
Right. I mean, so then after your 3 weeks with Rae, did you ever want to make things work with April, or did you realize that was kind of done? Because when I talked to April, she said as soon as your 3 weeks were done, she noticed a total shift in you.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was to do with what was going off behind the scenes and stuff like that as well. We had an agreement going on the show that we would date the people on the show, be involved with the whole experiment. But when it came to her going off and finding some other guy off the show was a big surprise to me, and stuff was going on there. I went by all her guidelines because she wanted to do the show. She set up guidelines like, hey, we can kiss a person, we can experiment with them. If anything of that happens, then we'll be open and honest with each other. And I was open and honest with her. She wasn't so much with me. And I found out a lot of stuff from other people before we moved back in together. So I was in a different state of mind when moving back in with her.
Right. So you were kind of then completely checked out. So why do you think that she went to look for somebody else off the show? Because I mean, I guess in that respect, it is kind of considered cheating then. Right?
Yeah.
The lines are kind of blurry.
That's how I kind of saw it. It was kind of he said, she said thing because we were on the show. We were going to be dating other people, but going off a show and meeting someone else was that wasn't okay with me.
Right. So on that final day, did you have any idea that Rae was going to be there? And why didn't you tell April that you wanted to maybe try things with Rae?
Just the fact that we were in a relationship with me and Rae, we were both in a relationship for 2 years with other people. So it was kind of it was hard, but at the same time, after the stuff that she was doing off the scene with this other guy, it was kind of I was kind of fed up. I was like, just do your own thing. I wish the best for you. Hope you're happy, but I didn't want anything to do with her at that point.
Yeah. How come you didn't really bring that up that much?
What,
the other guy?
Just because it was, to be honest, I don't know. I was just in there to do the show. She was doing her own thing. I didn't want to try to sit there and make her look bad all the time or something like that. I was kind of just letting her figure out her thing because we were both figuring out a lot of stuff at that time.
Right.
So letting her go through her course and let me go through mine.
Yeah, definitely. So did you have any idea that Rae was going to be there that day? When you said, you had the trip planned and everything like that, did you know that Rae was going to get out of the car and that you guys were going to have that moment together? I
knew we were going to have some kind of moment. I didn't know it was going to be something like that. It was good. I love Rae to death. We talk all the time. We're not dating or anything like that, just because still healing from everything that was going on and trying to figure out ourselves at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Were you disappointed that she didn't want to go on the trip?
It's not that she didn't want to go on the trip. It's that we both agreed that we needed to take time to figure stuff out. Because after the show ended, I had to figure out stuff with April, had to get closure with that, finish that. She had to do the same thing with Zay. So honestly, we just pushed it back, and then it just eventually just never happened.
Yeah. Were you guys dating post show? Like, were you in? Not at all.
Not at all. So she actually went back to figure out things with Zay and try to work that out. And me and April were kind of going through our course at the same time.
Were you surprised that she kind of wanted to work things out with Zay a little bit? Were you?
No. This was a fast-paced experiment. Like it was a lot of stuff was going on. We both did, like I said earlier, we were both in relationships for 2 years. So I don't blame her at all for trying to figure that and work that out. And I was doing my own thing as well. I had stuff I needed to work on, and I think it was just the best for both of us to take some time apart and rethink things, because when you're on an experiment like that, you could being cameras around you 24/7, all that, a lot of stuff can come into play.
Right. So. I spoke to Rae and she said maybe the door is not closed on, like, you're not in a romantic relationship, but the door is not closed. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah. I feel like something could happen down the road. We still, like I said, we still keep in contact. We're still good friends. We see each other occasionally from here and there, but yeah, definitely. I think there's something that could go on down the road.
Yeah. I mean, was she open to you about, dating other people during this time too? Because, I watched the reunion and she said that she was dating a woman, during this interim period as well. Were you aware of that too?
Yeah. I was aware of everything between. We were very open and honest with each other. Like I told her, I'm an open book. I'll tell you everything.
Yeah. So. Was it, April said that it was a really dark time for her, at least after the show, and like kind of figuring out the whole breakup. Because like you said, 2 years of a relationship, you guys lived together, you had cars together, things like it gets messy. So, I mean, what was that time for you?
It was just a mix of emotions, just coming off having a good connection with Rae, and then also me and her have been together for 2 years, and then the stuff that played out on the show it was a whole lot to take in. And for me, I just kind of wanted to, I guess, zone out, like leave everything, like push everything away and take time to myself for a little bit. But
definitely, a very heated moment in the reunion is Rae and Zay's talk about, the physicality of his relationship with Shanique. Do you think it was completely unfair of him to not tell her what happened since she... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting you. But yeah,
no.
Yeah, I think it was messed up. Shanique, now that situation with Shanique and Rae, I don't really know how, because that's a tough situation for Shanique. But as Zay being with Rae for 2 years, I definitely think he should have came out and told her right off the bat what happened.
Yeah. Did you feel guilty at all in your relationship with Rae getting so close? I know that, you never kind of broke those physical boundary lines because you had, you just kept it to kissing and things like that. But did you feel guilty that you were falling so quickly for somebody, even though you were in a relationship for 2 years? Honestly,
I did a little bit of me did, but at the same time, like, for one, I didn't want to do the show. So going on and having to do that experiment and me still sticking to her guidelines that she wanted, like she's the one that wanted to do it. She's the one that wanted to experiment around and see all this. So honestly, me and Rae were very respectful during the whole situation. No matter how it looks, we did not have sex. The only thing we did was kiss. I slept in a separate bed for the first 5 days on the show. So honestly, I was very respectful. It's not Zay. April was doing a lot more than I was. So at that time, I felt okay about what I was doing. Yeah.
Any regrets?
That's a good question. I haven't been asked that question yet. No, I think, like I said, I didn't want to do it, but at the same time, I'm glad I did, because me and April were just two totally different people. And we were trying to make things work even before the show, and we were having a rough patches. So I think it was the best for both of us. I hope she's happy, and I'm happy as well.
Are you happy that she's in a new relationship and seems?
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm happy that she's in a new relationship. She's doing her own thing. Hopefully, he can give her everything that like I couldn't.
Yeah. So, are you dating anybody now?
No, honestly, I'm just doing my own thing still, working on myself, just kind of take a time after all that. I like, even before the military, during and after, I was in back-to-back relationships. And I think it's just time for me to stay single and figure things out.
Yeah. So it maybe, but possibly keeping the door open with Rae.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Down the road.
Definitely. And then what did you think about Madeline and Colby's, marriage, baby, the works?
Oh, I'm so happy for them. I love both of them. I love Colby. I love Madeline. They're good people.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Madeline. I'm happy that they figured it all out. I'm happy that they got married and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then what else surprised you the most from the reunion?
The big thing, which I was pretty upset about, is when April, she went to Colby. I think you saw it when she was going to Colby, talking about how she's disappointed in him talking to another female off the show. That kind of got on my nerves a little bit, just because of the fact, she was more than just talking to somebody off the show behind the scenes. So that kind of irritated me a little bit. But other than that, I think it played out pretty well. Yeah.
And I'm sure I know the answer to this question, but would you ever do an ultimatum again?
No. I honestly, I don't believe that anyone should be given an ultimatum for marriage. If it's going good, y'all are happy, you're doing everything trying, I don't see a reason why there needs to be an ultimatum.
Yeah. What was in your silver cup?
The whole time, a whole bunch of tequila and whiskey.
Nice. Well, Jake, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Is there anything you're nervous about people watching this back? I mean, it's got to be, your whole life's about to change.
I mean, the way things played out, yeah. I could be seen as a villain, but I could also go the other way. So we'll just wait and see.